Hello, everybody, and welcome
Powered
to
by
the Quiet
Riverside
Fire.
FM.
I'm sure that a lot of you are probably have questions, wondering why I'm not introducing this as the Ash Gracie podcast. But as I'm sure you figured out pretty quickly, it is time for a rebrand. And you might be wondering, okay, the Quiet Fire, what does that mean? Essentially what it is the spark that creativity brings in us, but not in a loud way. It's not a loud fire, not the kind that roars, that demands attention. This one, I'm talking about the kind of fire that keeps you up at night with a song that you haven't written, or makes you emotional at the beauty of a line in a piece of poetry, allows you to want to begin even when you don't feel ready, that embraces you in the silence, and that even in the times where you feel too much and you think too much and you start and you stop and you don't know what you're doing, you create anyway. You begin anyway. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is for. And so I want to use this podcast as a way to enhance a space in this world that's not about fixing people, but it's about saying that you don't need to be loud. You just need to be here with people that understand you, creating work that understands us as people, as creators, everything that we are. And so I wanted to call this the Quiet Fire, not just because it's a nice name, but it's a homecoming, or at least I want it to be, for the people who are told that they're too much, too emotional, taking things too personally, not productive enough, not ready. I want this to be a space for the people who feel like they're not ready so that they can become ready. And what I want to do with this space is I want it to start through a community. It's a community for the poet who hasn't shared her words. It's a community for the musician who writes but never shares and never sings. The dancer who hasn't performed in front of an audience. The writer who hasn't presented a piece of work. The creators who create because they need it to survive. That's the way they cope. And I want to show you that there is always a place to present the work that you've created that will be loved and cherished. Because if not to anybody else, to a group, to a community of other creators like yourselves. And so I don't completely know where I'm going with this idea of the Quiet Fire, but I know that I'm going to start here by going through and choosing new topics to talk about every week on this podcast that enhance my own journey in creativity and can hopefully inspire other people's journey in their own creativity, because I think we all need to start somewhere, and so this is where I'm going to choose to start. And I'll talk about my own creative journey as well as the things that I've learned from creating work and in general just the life that I feel like I want to live. Postgrad so far has taught me that as long as you work hard and you have a plan, you can kind of figure it all out in your own time. And I hope to be able to do that among a group of people who also feel the same way. Instead of looking for people to give feedback, I'm looking for people to belong. And so the hope is that whether you are a new listener or you've been with me since I started this podcast 3 years ago, you stay along for the journey and you see where it goes and you see what you create, and feel free to DM us on Instagram if you have work that you want to share. I'm planning some events in the near future that I think will be a very good community goal to have. And so I'll see where that takes us. I have big dreams, and I don't know how many of those will actually happen. But I know that I'm looking for people to do it with. And so that's where we are now. We are beginning. We are rebranding. We are expanding. There will be more content on the Instagram as I try to figure out and navigate what this community might look like. For any of my listeners in London, I hope to bring an event to you very soon. A space where you can feel whatever it is you want to feel, be unfinished, create whatever you want with the guidance and comfort of knowing that other creators are doing so alongside you. And when the world feels so big that you don't know where to start, I hope that the Quiet Fire becomes a place where you can find yourself in a little sanctuary, whether that's by listening to one of my podcast episodes, joining the Instagram, or one of the events when they are live. I hope you all know that it's a passion project, but it's what I feel called to do in a way. Create this community and build a space where I can also grow as an artist alongside other people who are growing in their many different ways. I think there isn't a lot of community space for this sort of thing. It's either you make it or you don't. And I want to create a space for the people who aren't on the West End, who aren't selling out multiple albums and getting Grammys and Olivier's and Brit Awards and all of these things. It's not about the accolades. It's for the people who want to create regardless of those things, and to provide a space where we can all lift each other up and know that we're not alone in the industry of creating things that other people can consume. Because it's very performative in a way. And it's not a very interesting industry to be in on your own, because it's very overwhelming. And I'm sure it can make anyone feel lost so easily. And so I really want to use this as a space where I can build something bigger than just me talking into a microphone. Because that's not all that this is going to be. And I really hope that I can bring a lot of you on this journey. And so with that, I'm going to leave us there for this week. If you have any comments, questions, or new episode ideas, feel free to reach out on our Instagram, quietfire.collective, and I hope to see you all again next week. As always, don't forget, you are amazing, you are loved, and I thank you for being here.